Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and guess what? This video you guys helped me do, so let's go. This video basically I'll be giving you guys as best of book recommendations as I can based off of your favorite movie or TV show. So for context of this, if you don't know, I put out a short recently asking you guys to comment your favorite movie / TV show for me to do this video because I wanted to do something a little different. So yeah, let's dive right in. So we're starting right here with this comment. They said that their favorite show, I say their name's on here, I just don't want to try and butcher people's names, so I'm not going to. They said their favorite show is Stranger Things. So, by the way, for any of these shows or movies that I have not seen, I did do research, and I did look up, that's why this video took me so long to prepare for, is because I did look up and do some research of, like, what they're about, or, like, get the gist of what they're about. So, for Stranger Things, I've never seen it. Sorry if that's a crime. I have never seen it. And that was a hard one for me because it's such a, like, Stranger Things is such a unique idea. They do have books. Stranger Things, I think, has books. So if I wanted to go simple on that, you could just read those. But I wasn't going to do that because that's kind of cheating because I've never read them and I've never seen the show. So I decided to go out a little bit on a limb, I guess, and do the recommendation for the Stranger Things Maze Runner by James Dashner. This book is a dystopian which follows a group of kids trying to get out of a maze that has these monster creature things in it. And you kind of follow them along in their a bit of their everyday life, and then, like, kind of how they figure out how to get out of the maze. And yeah, it may not be like a perfect option for you, and I've never actually watched Stranger Things, and the plot confused me a little bit, the plot summary. So this is as best as I could get. You guys comment down below if you have a better recommendation, because this was the best I could do on what I knew about the show and the information I had gotten. So yeah, I recommend The Maze Runner for that one. And then next we have this comment, which will be right here on the screen. And Walking Dead I knew would be probably just as difficult as Stranger Things had been, so I chose Outer Banks because I feel like that one's a little bit on the easier side of finding something related to it. Which I've never actually seen it. Well, actually, that's not true. I've seen bits and pieces of it when my dad was watching it. But I've never actually sat down and watched the whole show. So I don't know the full premise of it. So again, Google. And I decided on The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's not like a treasure hunting book, but there's a huge mystery that they're trying to solve. There's romance. There's some kind of high stakes and a lot of good twists and turns in that. And I would definitely think that it would be a good Outer Banks adjacent story. And then next was a friend of mine who follows my channel, and she tried to comment, but it didn't work, so I have her text message here. And she said she likes sweet romances, and that's a pretty easy one for me. I actually have two recommendations for this one. I have To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Both of these are such cute and adorable romances. This one's actually part of a trilogy, and it's a movie trilogy on Netflix. Fun fact for you. And this one, I guess, technically is a duology, because there's the sequel to it, Nothing Like the Movies. But I've never read that one. And to be honest, I haven't heard incredible things about that one, because it takes place after this one. Obviously, that's how books work. But also, like, it follows the characters later on in life, if I recall correctly, of the plot of that one. So I actually do have a reading vlog of me reading this book. It's actually my very first video was me reading this book. So if you want more in-depth of my opinion, go watch that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, I mean, there's so many romance books that you could recommend for a cute little sweet romance, but these are the two that I actually thought of first. So definitely recommend these. And then it's this comment. Never seen Arcane, never seen Gravity Falls, but I have seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So I went with that one because I actually watched the movie recently. And there's only one book trilogy, but one book that I thought of when I read that I've read that would work. And that's Renegades by Marissa Meyer. It's literally about superheroes. And this may be a little cliche, but it's literally about superheroes. It's a dual POV between a villain and a superhero. What could be better than that? It's like reading a comic book, but obviously it's not a comic book. Renegades by Marissa Meyer. That's my Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse rec for you. Because either that or I'm recommending Marvel Comics too, because that's literally what that's based off of. So, I actually don't think I've ever read a Marvel comic. Am I a fake fan? Hope not. And then the next comment, this one, I am going to wholeheartedly apologize. This very comment is a reason why this video took so long, is because I could not think of a single book to recommend for this. Bluey. It's a wholesome show. I used to babysit. I've seen clips of it. I don't actually sit down and watch that in my free time. But what could you recommend for that that's like not a children's book? Because it's a kids show. It's a very wholesome kids show. But I don't... Yeah, I couldn't think of anything. I'm so sorry. I racked my brain trying to think of something for this one, and nothing came. So I'm very sorry to this person. Very sorry. My sincerest apologies. I could not think of anything. But if you guys could think of anything, comment down below. I want to know what you guys think would work for a Bluey book recommendation. So yeah, next is another one that they somehow couldn't comment, so they sent it to me as a text. And they said Pride and Prejudice as one of their favorite movies, and favorite shows Alexa Katie. I have actually seen both of these, and fun fact, I have read Pride and Prejudice, and I have seen the movie, the Keira Knightley one. I'm trying to remember the actor's name for a second, so it's not like the 6-hour-long one. I want to be kind of silly and be like, oh, here, read the book. It's a classic, so it's a little daunting. It's Jane Austen, so it's even more daunting in that sense if you don't like... I like it. It took me like 2 months to read. So, that's not normal for me, but... jokingly, like, I chose the Alexa and Katie one, but jokingly, if you like Pride and Prejudice, read Pride and Prejudice. So what I chose for Alexa and Katie is the Christy Miller series. I have them as ebooks, not physical books. And this one is basically this series, because it's actually a decent amount of books. I can't talk. It follows a girl named Christy Miller as she goes through life and some of life's hardships, but also like relationships and friendships and just her walk with God. It's a really good Christian fiction about just life, and I think that's what Alexa and Katie was. Now obviously it had the element of Alexa having cancer and her best friend being there for her. Christy Miller's not exactly like that, but it does kind of have that same like following someone through like these hardships and just things that go on in their life. I definitely think this is a good book recommendation for that. And then our last comment about the Kendrick Brothers movies. I agree. I love those movies too. And for those of you who don't know what the Kendrick Brothers movies are, the Kendrick Brothers are filmmakers. They make Christian movies. A handful of them as examples are like Fireproof, Courageous, Facing the Giants, Life Mark, and a whole bunch of others. War Room. I'm trying to think of other ones. I haven't seen. Those are all the ones I think I've seen. So I think I may have seen more, but those are the ones that are coming to the top of my head. And I love those movies. They're so good. 100% recommend those movies, actually. And for a book recommendation, I grabbed my Patricia St. John collection. I say collection because literally this is a lot of books, and I love her so much. She is a Christian author, and basically her stories, they remind me of those movies in a sense. Now they are about like younger age people. They're not like about adults or anything. But they do kind of, well, this one is like a historical, and this follows Onesimus. If you've ever read one of Paul's letters to Philemon, I was like, who was this man? Onesimus was mentioned in that, so it's taking kind of creative liberties off of that person who actually existed in history. This one's really good, but it doesn't exactly fit with Kindred Brothers. They don't really do this, but they probably do more along the lines of these books, where, for an example, The Tanglewood Secret, this follows Ruth in discovering kind of, like, she's kind of a brat to begin with, and she has a brother who she thinks is perfect and whatever, and she's living with her grandparents because her parents are missionaries far away, and she doesn't think that if they ever come back that they'll like her, because she's been told a lot growing up, because she is kind of bratty, and doesn't always obey, right, things like that. And basically she finds out she runs away from home at one point, I think. It's been a minute since I've read this book. I don't remember if she runs away or if she's exploring. She may be exploring. And she goes into this field, like there's a shepherd and a bunch of sheep. And he talks to her about sheep, and she blah, 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 blah. And she finds out the story of a very important shepherd. Wink, wink, I can't wink with that eye, but you get what I mean. So it's so good. And like, this one's also a really good one. It's a tiny one. I only read this one once, and then like I could just keep. These are all so good, and they all follow these kids as they kind of go through these really crazy experiences, and just how God's with them throughout it all. And a lot of them discover God and their relationship with him throughout these books. None of them like link up or anything. They're all standalone books. So if that's any consolation for people, it's not like it's a full-on series. And also we're gonna add that one. So yeah, I would totally recommend these books to you for that. And that is all I got for you guys today. I also want to say thank you so much for those of you who commented for this. So you basically made this video possible. And I also want to thank everybody who subscribed. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me if you want me to do more content like this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.